Hi everyone. So before I turn in for the night, I just wanted to uh, make some video just to add to what I've been saying last time. I haven't really have a lot of time to think about things, and because I've been going quite regularly for therapy once every 2 weeks or so. Yeah, once every 2 weeks, and then I'm also quite busy. Part of it is actually anxiety and coming from the need to make a change in my own life, like not just lifestyle changes but even uh, jobs and trying to get more work, earn more money, things like that, and also to move on to a new career. And yeah, so and then I have like time for things like the end of the plans for the end of the year, everything. So although I know it's a bit early still. Um, okay, anyway, so this is like me just recording uh, while I'm still at that thing. Okay, I want to make this video about just focus on the idea of how to recognize someone who's actually very narcissistic, or if not, even if you don't want to use the term narcissistic or narcissist, because it has been almost overused quite a lot nowadays. Like this term, as I said, has been used to how should I say, to point the finger at someone, and you can just point the finger at just about anyone if they don't have the same kind of values as you. So, but before you even start doing that, okay, I'm not saying that don't do that, but what I'm saying is just be careful. And so, how do we recognize narcissists before it becomes too late? And I mean, the truth is this. I'll have to say something that might not sit in well with a lot of other people. One friend of mine used to tell me, "Oh, you know what? I can recognize all these people. They are so in your face, and they brag, and they are so um, arrogant and proud, and I can just recognize them like a miles away." But I told him I really disagree with him, because I told him, you know what? This is only assuming that uh, he's coming from the point of view of someone who's very religious, who's Christian. But I said you can find them even in churches nowadays, or even religious institutions. So there's no saying. And some of these people, they are very good at playing victims. So the question is, how do we recognize them for a narcissist? Most of the time it's actually very hard, especially if they are very covert or they are vulnerable. They are just saying, oh, I'm the victim all the time. So what makes it easier for us to actually recognize them, or to make them, like in Chinese culture we have a saying, but it's also quite similar in Korean culture, saying that the longer the tail is, the easier it is to step on the tail. That's the Korean saying. And that saying, what does it? 꼬리구멍 밟힌다. Yeah, the longer the tail, the easier it is to step on the tail. So it's pertaining to the idea of telling lies and deceiving people. But in Chinese, there's a saying about the fox revealing its tail. So obviously, it's also about deception. So that regardless of it, I mean, especially between Koreans and Chinese, they have a very similar culture in terms of the way they view certain things about ethics and morals. And even then, narcissism is actually very obviously exists, because if it didn't exist, why would there be such things about people who are um, like pathological liars, who are like deceivers and everything? So I think that one thing we have to be careful is, I always tell people, you look at the person's friend, look at the five. It sounds like a principle from business marketing, but it is actually very, very true. They always say that you are the sum total of the top five people you hang around with. So don't talk about empaths. Ask people who are very empathetic, or people who are just very um, not even introverted, but just people who decided, I want to withdraw from society because after my time being abused by someone, I just don't feel like being around anyone. Just like people like me and other people who have been survivors of narcissistic abuse and manipulation. But if we were to just look at the people that this top five people are the main group that this so-called narcissist, or even not just narcissist but toxic people hang around with, who do they hang around with? What are the values of these 5 people? Top 5 people, yes. And what do they lead by? What is their modus operandi in life? What are their values? One thing, one senior in the gym used to tell me, this uncle, he said, uh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And he was like looking, and he said, oh, this person, I showed him some pictures of some people whom I thought were potentially into themselves, just narcissistic and everything. So this is a colleague of I just told him, oh, look at this guy. This guy gives me very very weird vibes. He on his social media, he's like a like a colleague, currently a colleague of this former narcissist in my life a few years ago. I don't follow that particular former narcissist in my life anymore. I just block the person because the vibe is so creepy and everything. But what about this colleague? And I realized that the person was actually a colleague now, like late last year, and so that I had to actually just do the blocking. So I blocked. Yeah, sometime around early this year or late last year. Yeah, just time to block. Okay, but you realize at the end of it all that what the uncle said was true. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Birds of the same feathers flock together. So if we were to just look at the people that the narcissist hangs around with, okay, these people are pretty similar to them. Okay, I'm not saying that they're all like mirror twins or whatever, but there's something about these so-called friends, because if you realize, okay, you would think that the narcissist is actually some kind of like a parasite, or whatever. Their friends are probably also parasites like them. And of course there's going to be like a head honcho, like a head narcissist, someone who is like in charge of the whole group, or whom the whole group fears, and that is very likely to be the so-called narcissist that you are identifying. But other than that, okay, the thing with all this is that I kind of realized this myself, because last time I was like always giving people a benefit of that. I always say, oh, look at the person for who they are, blah blah blah. But it's a very dumb thing, you think about it. The fact is this, as I've always said, we are the sum total of the top 5 people we hang around with. And the thing is that at one point in time, we hung around with that particular narcissist, or we lost friends and people who were actually very close to us, who were supposedly on our side because of the narcissist. And then the next thing they did was not just that. Some of them could have turned the other person to their side, their cause. But if they didn't turn the person to the cause, maybe just that those friends of us who left, or just distance themselves from us, decided, we had it, like whoever is like this friend of us is just not getting into his or her head that he or she is with a narcissist or someone who's very not good at all. That was what I really realized. But yeah, so don't just don't really bury that kind of feeling. So if you feel that this so-called friends of the person whom you're wondering if he or she is a narcissist, okay, if those friends are like really dodgy, and toxic people, or people with very dubious morals, the likelihood is, yes, that person whom you are wondering if he or she is a narcissist is definitely not is definitely, but in very high likelihood a narcissist. Okay, so of course I'm not saying that immediately just cut a person off, but we have to just be aware. There's no such thing called like a mere friendship of like opposites and whatever, because I realized that myself years ago when it came to those friends surrounding one particular narcissist. I told the uncle one story, that this story is like, all these people are so weird, like they say, oh, I helped my friend to do plant seeding. What plant seeding was that? Or I mean like babysitting plants. Like I was like, what the hell is that? You help some people help their, I thought it's more like a girls thing. I seriously thought that was a girls thing, but even girls don't always do that. I had a friend, she did that for one of the professors back in the was that in the university? Yeah, when she was still a graduate student. And she was telling me, she was just doing it because at that point in time she she got free lodging in a way. And yeah, she wanted to sort of like just find some place to bunk over at for the interim before she moved out. And she did get this help from one of the professors, okay, one of the so-called, yeah, one of like who wasn't teaching us. Yeah, she offered her a place to bunk over at. So she offered to do plant seeding. Okay, but I was like, this is a girl's thing. Why are guys doing it for them, for each of their so-called friends? If their friends are doing it for them, or they are doing it for friends, I can guarantee you, okay, there's something going on between these two guys. And I don't even think that is very healthy, even if a girl offers to do it for another girl. Maybe animal like dog sitting, babysitting dogs or cats, but again, that's very rare. It's really really rare among girls, even among girls. So if a guy is doing that, okay, oh ho 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 ho, they are hatching something. I'm not sure what's going on. So the thing is this: look at the friends of that person, okay, to know whether he or she is actually toxic or not. And likelihood is, if that friend has very toxic values, okay, then that particular person, who could be a friend, could be a romantic partner, could be a family, is very likely a narcissist. Okay, run for the hills. Okay, anyway, that's it for now. I'm gonna go and just turn in early, and have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.